Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Sunday, September 26th, 6:18 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. All right, I'm going to check out what's going on today. You may have noticed early this morning on Sunday we had a bit of a pump and dump, and it's kind of, a dump and pump. Kind of cool. Looks like the whales wiped out the longs and then created some liquidity and just started cranking the market. It's a wonderful day. Let's just rock through this and check out what's going on. As always, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. I'm going to start mentioning, when there is one, a shitcoin of the week. Shitcoin of the week. Fibo. Fibo. This came up over at BitcoinDailyView. No, not BitcoinDailyView.com, but Bitcoin Daily View Telegram chat. If you want to have fun, hang out with irreverent people that are randomly talking about crypto and dropping crazy memes and such like that on Telegram. Daily View. Daily View on Telegram. Anyway, you can find it in the show description here on YouTube over at BitcoinDailyView.com. The Bitcoin Daily View Telegram chat. Come and join the irreverent fun. It's worthwhile. So Fibo, they're a new one of the many shitcoins that you'll find on. This is on PancakeSwap, Uniswap. It's on the BNB network, on the BNB blockchain. Basically, I do believe they have their own DEX now, which is kind of cool. Fibswap.io. I was going to connect my little wallet, and let's see, what can I buy Fib with? Fibo. So let's see, Fibo, Fibo, Fibo token, and I can buy that with, well, pretty much anything. It's a DEX, so maybe I'll throw some USDC over there today. USD, what do they got? C. Yep, they got it. May move some USDC over and buy some Fibo. This is expected to make some moves. Like I say, this is 100% speculative, but this coin is getting some love recently. It's beginning to perform quite well. You know, I tell you, there are many people who turn $500 into $200,000 with the Uniswap, PancakeSwap, shitcoin of, well, not the week, but we'll see what happens. This one is moving up. Let's see how the shitcoin of the week does, and maybe we'll, anyway, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, but pure speculation. But this looks like it might make a run. This is the kind of coin that can easily do, like, a 1x, 2x, whatever. So there we go. Fibo. What's nice is that they already have their own DEX, and that's pretty grooving. So it looks like it has promise. Anyway, at your own risk, do your own research, but I'm going to throw out a shitcoin of the week when there is one. And that one is definitely the shitcoin of the week. Okay, a hamster has been trading cryptocurrencies in a cage rigged to automatically buy and sell tokens since June, and it's currently outperforming the S&P 500. Not very hard to do, but still, this like medieval-looking torture box where the hamster is forced to trade. He's winning. So anyway, just in case you ever have a bad trade, you're feeling kind of down about yourself, just realize that a rodent has done better than you. Anyway, with that said, looking at the crypto universe in squares here, Bitcoin in the green. This is the last hour. So Bitcoin 43,281, make that 43,310. Dominance 44%. Ethereum is over 3,000 again. Sol not quite pumping, a little bit disappointing, but it's beginning to move up. DOT is doing real well. ADA looking good. XRP dominating. And Doge is awake once again. LTC even is beginning to perk up. So anyway, we'll take a closer look at all this stuff. Something fun to look at is the Bitcoin cycle repeat chart. I'll put this over under indicators that I use on BitcoinDailyView.com. This came up recently over at Trade Genius chat. And if this is correct, and this seems to like recalibrate itself. It's a rather interesting chart just to watch. It looks like we might be, there's the after cycle dump, which we're not there yet. We're right about here. And so we'll see. This would say that we're about to start moving up. Anyway, just a fun indicator, a predictive indicator to look at, Bitcoin cycle repeat chart. And boom, I'll link to it over there. And maybe I'll put it in the top of the show notes too. All right, so looking at volume last 24 hours, we're at 24 billion. Spot trading on Binance, pure crap, needs to be at least 30, but we are up 1% last 24 hours. Looking at future is 69 billion. Want to be at least at 70 for a good day, up 2% basically last 24 hours. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly 3.3 billion. That's pure potty. So basically, we're going into this Sunday with no volume. But we've had some Bitcoin moving and shaking. So who's doing it? Doesn't appear to be retail volume. Looking at this little character here, let's see if we can get this to pop up. Come on now. Not responsive. Come on, try harder. We'll come back to this in a second. We'll see if we can get this to work for us. All right. Looking at longs versus shorts sentiment for Bitcoin on Binance says 56% long, 43% short sentiment. For Ethereum, 61% long, 38% short sentiment. All right. Let's see if this thing's going to work for us here. Come on. If we just get it to work, it'd be so cool. Is it gonna? Nah, sorry about that. I do like looking at the liquidations, but it does not seem to want to load. Anyway, looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart, it's wonderful. We are really, looks like we really are finding that 314 moving average on the daily as a bottom. And now we're ranging between the 314 and the 200 moving average on the daily. I got that golden cross recently when the 50 crossed over the 200 moving average. So anyway, this is good. We're ranging sideways. Looking at the daily MACD, we're beginning to see a positive histogram. We're closing in the right direction. We're getting it, made that tangent could almost, in the next couple hours, turn positive. Once that tangent does, I think we'll definitely see some interest and some retail volume possibly rolling into Bitcoin. We're close. We're heading that direction. So good to go. Looking at the 45-minute chart, as you can see what happened this morning, we dumped to the 0.5 fib level. As I've drawn this fib, basically where I start back here at the low back in July 20th or so, go to the high of around September 6th. And this Fibonacci sequence seems to really fit very, very well. This 0.5 fib level, we've really been kind of testing, but we have not gone all the way down to the 618 fib level. So this seems to be holding. We bounced to it and right past it a little bit this morning, then began to make a move up. It was somewhat abrupt. I saw that happening and I was like, oh man, oh well, dump. Okay, dump. We can deal with it. Dump, fine. But then the frown turned upside down and bam, beautiful bounce. A double bottom if you think about it. Triple bottom, bum, bum, bum. But really a double bottom here. Boom, boom. And there we go. So kind of looks like a bar pattern going right back where we should be. What I like is that we bounced hardcore. So this dump didn't look good to me. Obviously, since we're not seeing a lot of retail trading volume, I think this is really all, whale manipulation. Somebody was hanging out and they were like, all right, or you get the conference call that I was not invited to. They're like, dump it right here, this predictable level. Of course, it's a wick because nothing's perfect. And then once they hit that, they probably wrecked a lot of longs. It's kind of why I want to look at the at this guy here. Let's see if we can get it to load. I think it loaded. Here we go. Let's look at the last on the hourly. Here we go. Look at the hour. Let's see what it looks like. All right. Well, September 26th. So really, wow. So it looks like September 26th. We got like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m. A lot of shorts got wrecked. Okay, so 83 million in shorts, 5 million in longs, and then 10 million in longs got wrecked, and then 4.7 in shorts. Anyway, what's this big spike here? Oh, here we go. Here's the September 26th. That's today, about 1 a.m. Basically, right about midnight. Boom! There's your shorts. They just got wrecked like crazy. Then they came back and people started shorting when that dump started, and then bam, they wrecked them. So definitely some, precision short and long wrecking, probably creating liquidity so they could buy up that new liquidity on the exchanges. So What's glorious is they dumped it to a predictable level, makes sense. And then bam, now we are above the 200 moving average once again here on the 45-minute chart. That is powerful. That is wonderful. That's good. If we can find support there and then continue moving up, that's going to be glorious. So definitely this has been a beautiful and tragic thing for some alts, but let's keep going. Ethereum, bam, looks just like Bitcoin. And now it's above the 200 moving average. Will it find support there? The indicators look like it certainly could. How do the indicators look like for Bitcoin here on the 45? Oh, yeah. I mean, directional index is in the green. ADX is above 25. Squeeze indicator showing positive momentum. The KRI is in the green. Stochastic RSI is kind of rolling over. Maybe we're going to see some sideways before we pump up. We're not going to see a really powerful pump yet. Oh, but look at this. The Lazy Bear Oscillator is showing we are in that beautiful buy zone, that beautiful upwards momentum zone. So, boom. We definitely could keep this 200 moving average and continue moving up today, looking at Bitcoin, looking at the indicators, looking at Ethereum. Ethereum's looking powerful. The stochastic RSI here, I think there's just too much pump for it to deal with. It's showing possibly a cool off, but all the other indicators and wave chain oscillator by Lazy Bear, I tend to almost trust more than the RSI, stochastic RSI, and it shows we're in a sweet spot. If we were to hop out here to the 4-hour chart, let's check that out. 4-hour chart, let me get rid of all this stuff. Boom, so we can see it more clearly. On the 4-hour chart, though, do note, okay, so we're beginning to move up. This is good. We're still well below the 200 moving average. So on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin, it's good that we're above the 45-minute 200 moving average, but let's watch for this 4-hour moving average cross, 4-hour 200 moving average cross, which would be right around 43,000, 43,250. When we make that cross, that might be pretty darn glorious. But the 45-minute chart right now is looking good enough for some beautiful upwards momentum. I'll take it. Ethereum, looking at a 4-hour chart, how's that one look? Yeah, it's got to get up to around 3,350 to get above that 200 moving average in the 4-hour, but it's moving up and it's definitely challenging and working with that 45-minute 200 moving average. So these big guys here definitely showing a positive Sunday. If we can keep some positive momentum into Monday, that'll be wonderful. There was some more China FUD. They're not like in Hohobi, whatever. There's some FUD there, but who cares? I think it's time for the cryptocurrency market to ban China and just whatever. So I think they finally ban everything that they can, double, triple ban it, which they do every year. So whatever. ETH BTC, this is glorious. I like this because the indicators look strong. They're moving up. I like it. Only thing that's not our friend is the stochastic RSI here on the 45-minute chart. This is a very short time frame. This is quite a little bit of a burst here. So Ethereum BTC did dump, then bam, it went up. And look at that, we're going to find support. If we do find support above the 200 moving average and these indicators look good and it starts moving up, an Ethereum BTC trade might be in the works for me today to make some sweet extra BTC sats. LTC USDT, I'm noticing this. I have this up here because check it out. It did do a dump and a pump. It did break above the 15-minute 200 moving average. On the 45-minute chart, it's still pretty potty. You know, it's got to get up to about like $155 to get above that 200 moving average. But if it could, I mean, these indicators are not too bad. It might do that. So I'm watching. I'm going to put an alert in for the 45-minute, the 200 moving average on a 45-minute chart. I'm going to put an alert in for a cross there because Litecoin really, it's got a lot of room if we look at it to let's look at like a 12-hour chart. I mean, it's got a lot of room to move up. I mean, if it just got back to, if it can break above this 200 moving average again and do some damage, if it can make some moves, I mean, if we look at it, if it just got back to our previous high, I mean, that would be like 158%, you know? So I'm definitely watching Litecoin versus USDT for a positive uptrend because if that begins, it could be sweet. I mean, it is one of the, big three, maybe not anymore, really. It used to be like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Now it's kind of like Bitcoin, Ethereum, I don't know, SHIB, Doge. It's kind of like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the really popular alts are kind of what are the, universe. Litecoin, is Litecoin irrelevant now? Just asking, is it? I mean, it's supposed to get the Nimble Wimble Nimble Wimble. I think they've already done that in testing, where it's going to get the Nimble Wimble built into it, so it could have private transactions, which will probably get it in all kinds of trouble with the SEC and everything else. But if that does get rolled out, or if we have good news of that being rolled out, is it even rolled out already? I hope it isn't, because if it is, then the price action didn't amount to crap. But I would imagine that would get the price action moving. So Litecoin versus USDT or USDC is one that I definitely do watch, because it could start moving. Sol versus BTC. Sol has been kind of sucking recently. It dumped and did not pump, but its indicators look strong versus BTC. So I think if we can get the 200 moving average cross today, Sol might start moving once again. Sol against BTC would be a sweet trade if you could get it moving. Let's look at Sol versus USDT. It dumped, pumped. It's looking at the 200 moving average. It's kind of challenging it. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm kind of wondering if this we'll see. Sol was really just like it was the machine a while ago, and it's not the machine now. I do wonder though, if we look at how about a 4-hour chart for Sol versus USDT, something I'm kind of curious about is if we were to do a fib sequence on this thing. A lot of people think it's over for Sol. I'm going to start the fib right here. I'm going to run it right to there, of course. If you look at the dot, we're flirting with the .5 fib level here on Sol versus USDT. That is a plenty good spot that it could bounce. And on the 4-hour chart, it looks like it's fighting to get back above that 4-hour 200 moving average. Look at that. So Sol versus USDT, it's made a kind of a .5 fib bounce. It's looking to try to get above that 200 moving average if it can. Fib might be Sol might be back in the game. So let's not write it off yet. But it had a great dominating run. It's dumped, and the .5 or the 618 is definitely a place that it could bounce. And let's see what happens. Right now, it seems to be bouncing off that .5 fib level, and it's challenging that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. If it can get above that and find support, boom, it might be Lambo time once again for Sol versus USDT. Looking at Sol versus BTC in the same configuration here, how's that looking? I bet it's about the same. If we do a fib, bam. Bam, Sol versus BTC. It's actually flirting more with the 382 fib level. That's fine. They're different. But look at that. It's a 1, 2, 3 kind of triple bottom, and it's approaching that 200 moving average. Is it going to make a bounce? Anyway, just one to watch. If it starts running against USDT, it'll run against BTC also. So anyway, Sol, not out of the game yet. ADA, Cardano, it dumped a bit this morning, and it's not well, and then it pumped, and then it dumped. So, but anyway, the indicators right now are still looking hopeful. I did a little bit of fib on this thing this morning, and as we can see, we had this pump this morning. Well, we had a pump, and now we've kind of this isn't really this morning. This is 19th of September. Well, anyway, so looking at just this morning. Sorry, it's still early for me. Looking at this morning around what was it? Around midnight, right about here, right? Yeah, 25th, 9. No, let's get to midnight. Oh, anyway, sorry. I'm seeing cross-eyed right now. Anyway, Cardano versus BTC had a run-up on the 4-hour chart. That's the problem. I'm looking at a 4-hour chart. Sorry. Let me look at a 45-minute chart. 45-minute chart. But this little fib sequence here. So we started running up. If I do it like this, we're looking at a .5 fib level right there. That's the place where ADA and BTC could bounce. I mean, ADA versus BTC could definitely bounce. It started dumping. Let's see. Oh, it's been dumping, kind of. And then it dumped harder this morning. Anyway, but it did make a nice bounce. It's still below the 200 moving average, ADA versus BTC. So I'm just kind of looking at alts that could possibly make some nice sats against trading against BTC. So I'm going to watch for a better bounce off the 200 moving average here for ADA versus BTC. But definitely, if this guy turns around, I mean, the indicators do show we're beginning to trend towards the positive. So I'm going to watch this guy. It definitely could be a player today, ADA versus BTC. Oftentimes, how I can tell something's going to do against BTC is also look how it's doing against USDT, And ADA versus USDT, I like it. It definitely took a bit of a dump this morning, but it quickly got back above the 200 moving average. It crossed the 314 moving average and is challenging the 314 moving average for support. Indicators are looking like not the best. Anyway, ADA. Looking at DOT versus BTC on the 4-hour chart, we had a nice bounce of that 200 moving average. We're finding support there. We're moving up. Indicators are still very, 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 very early in a recovery if they're going to on the 4-hour chart. But let's look at a 45-minute chart, DOT versus BTC. This morning had a dump, recovery. On the 45-minute chart, it's below the 200 moving average. Indicators, they're not too positive. It could be making a recovery. I'd watch for DOT to get above the 200 moving average from 314 on the 45-minute chart before I really started looking at the 4-hour chart as a positive thing. Even though it's above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, it's a little bit weak. But if you look at it, though, I mean, DOT versus BTC has been, it has really been dominating. I mean, look at how it's been running. It's great. It made that initial 200 moving average break, and it's just been cruising along right now. But I'm not too sure about this turnaround yet. I want to confirm that on a 45-minute chart and a 4-hour chart. Maybe .BTC, if it continues running, could be a badass way to make extra sats. While we're sitting here, let's look at Doge versus USDT. How's it doing on the 4-hour chart here? Doge versus USDT on the 4-hour chart. It's kind of sucking, but it's pushing a little bit. It's putting some effort forth. Let's look at that on a 45-minute chart. Doge is pretty darn flaccid. How about Shiba Inu versus USDT? Here on Binance, how's that one doing? Everyone loves the SHIB. I'll clear this old stuff out. On the 45-minute chart, it dumped, made some upwards momentum. It's still below the 200 moving average. Not too hopeful there. The SHIB and the Doge are just, well, on the 4-hour chart, though, you can see how sparky that SHIB is. I mean, it's challenging that 200 moving average. How the indicators look pretty weak, but they could, they could be turning up. I'm going to keep an eye on SHIB versus USDT. If we get a 200 moving average bounce, I mean, look at what it can do. I mean, if it could just like make a burst like it did in the past, and you caught some crap. I hate that indicator. Forecast. If SHIB kind of made a move off the 200 moving average and got back to the previous spike, I mean, that's like 26%. So definitely watching SHIB. I mean, what I'm seeing here is it's riding that 4-hour 200 moving average, pretty darn sparky there. So I like what I'm seeing on the 45-minute chart. It's really riding that 200 moving average. If it can get a break above there and start moving up and doesn't find resistance at that 314, maybe it'll keep going. I'm going to be watching these guys. Anyway, it is Sunday, so anything really can happen. Let's take one more look at Bitcoin. But the thing is, I'm watching this tangent. If that tangent on the daily for Bitcoin does trend positive, I mean, already the histogram is closing in a positive direction. Let's need to get that tangent looking a little bit better. If you look at a 12-hour chart, where's that tangent? Look at that on the 12-hour chart. Tangent is positive, and it just made a positive cross. That's really wonderful. How about the 2-hour MACD? 2-hour MACD is positive. So 2-hour MACD, I'm telling you, it tends to, its direction, its crosses are usually followed by the daily. Just saying. I tend to notice that. So 2-hour MACD, positive cross. I like that. And then you look at the 2-hour MACD, positive cross. 12-hour MACD, positive cross. Histogram is starting to turn. It's positive. Positive cross. It's going to cause some upwards momentum. Daily, watch that daily tangent to turn positive. Definitely. And we're in the right spot. We can make a break above that 200 moving average once again, and we're going to be back in the game. Really, positive tangent, I think, will lead right to it. Break above the 200 moving average, and then boom, we find support there, and we are back in the game. So, everybody, I hope this was helpful. I'm just, if you happen to catch me when I'm live, when I'm sitting here babbling, if you do in the live chat, if anyone's watching, if you do throw out any coin, I will take a look at it here. Hope this is helpful. I'm just really excited that this is a great place for Bitcoin to be on Sunday. If we can keep above 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart this Sunday, and all the Madrid ribbons have turned green, as you can see by this green diamond merit badge. Indicators are good. If we can roll like this into Monday positive, that's going to be a darn good thing. And we had a little bit of a dump because who knows why. We can say China FUD, I don't know. But basically, it wasn't retail. We definitely liquidated the crap out of some longs. Then they came back and went, oh, Oh, you're going to do shorts now. Bam! We'll take that too. Somebody wanted to create some liquidity. And I have no doubt that the whales are buying. We're looking at this price action. But what gets me with the price action, I mean, it's not retail traders doing it. Not with only 3.3 billion in volume. That retail traders aren't causing this spike. I'm not even sure why it's happening. So whales are making moves, guys, and they've put Bitcoin back in a good spot. So with that said, BitcoinDailyView.com, check out the shop, make Teslas not tweets. You will meet the most interesting people in your town and travels if you're wearing one of these t-shirts. With that said, the world's going to shit. It kind of is. Actually, I see it as a beautiful thing. The world's finally like getting out of mediocrity and all that. Look at all that stuff exploding back there. It's all crazy. And what are we doing? We're buying, we're trading. We're working on getting more Bitcoin sats. We're working on making money. And remember, what's most important about all this truly is the peaceful revolution, because ain't no way you can stop the shitstorm that's coming. The globalists are really showing their fangs. We're getting real around here. Just look at Australia. We're getting real. And with that said, the number one thing you can do to help the peaceful revolution is you can own Bitcoin. One sat is a revolutionary act, and it's exponential for everyone that you own, because every single Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit globalist cry. See you tomorrow.